Good evening, Holiday. All right. Happy, what is today? Tuesday? It is going on 7 o'clock Tuesday evening here in Texas. And I am starting our dinner. I've already have the rice going. And in case y'all didn't see, um, what we are having for dinner tonight, come on over. Let me show you. All right, so these are the beautiful ingredients that we have for y'all tonight. It's skirt steak specifically. Hey Ma, Holiday. Thank you for joining. So we got skirt steak. I've got cabbage, bell pepper. I've got onions and minced garlic as well. And then this is some of the seasoning that I'll be using with soy sauce, vinegar, and yeah. So this is what I'll be working with tonight. How are you? How's your Tuesday evening going? Hopefully you didn't get washed out too much from the rain. What was it, last week? But all right. First item on the list to work on, let's get the knives out, is we're going to chop up some onions. All right, there, my stand is working. Let's turn on my other light over here. Whoops. Get a little bit more light going. Just a little bit more. Hey, Kat. Half a day. Thanks, sis, for being here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and chop up some onions. As a lot of you guys know that have been following me already on my channel, although I like cooking with onions, I'm not a big fan of it. So I don't usually put a ton of onions in my cooking. So one onion usually can last me. And especially because the onions, they, when I buy them individually at least, they are so big. So, I'm going to get this, come on. And I even cut it. I cut it all wonky. It's not even straight. So let's just cut this in half. Although I love to cook and I've been cooking for a long time, I'm still not a master when it comes to cutting onions. Yeah, we had a food truck, but again, didn't become a master of chopping onions, you know? I see a lot of these cooking videos where they're just chop, 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 chop. I do like the flavor of onions. I'm just not a big fan of the raw onions. But for those of you guys that are just joining, good evening, welcome in. I am making what is called bistake, which if you guys caught my previous dinner cooking video, live stream that I did several days ago, I made pork adobo. And what is this dish, being that I'm using beef, is now called besteak. So because I'm using pretty much the same ingredients when it comes to the seasoning and the sauce, if you're using chicken, it's called stufado. If you're using pork, it's called adobo. But because we are using steak. It is called bistake. Hi. All right, let's move this over here real quick. Sorry for the bouncing around, y'all. I want to go ahead and cut up the meat. Hey, Deb, good evening. Thank you for joining. I don't know if you're still here or not. Now, just like the adobo, this is my first time making this dish. So, bear with me. But if I remember correctly, my sister is watching, I believe, but my oldest sister who gave me the recipe to make this, but I forgot to ask her how am I supposed to cut the meat. I don't remember. All I know is that it should be in strips. Right, babe?
Don't have to be very long. I mean, not like.
So I can cut this in half first and then cut it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's okay to have some of the fat pieces on there because it does, you know, keep the flavor, but if you can chop off a little bit of the excess, that's what you want to do. But I'm going to get everything chopped up and prepped before I actually start any cooking because this is not a thick cut for the steak and I am cutting them into strips. They won't take long at all to cook. So definitely if you want to give this dish a try, you want to get everything prepped and ready to go before you start your cooking. But again, for those of you guys that are just popping in, good evening, happy Tuesday. It is 7 o'clock in the evening here in Texas. And I am making a popular dish from my beautiful tiny island of Guam. It's called bistake. And the properties are very similar for those of you guys that might be familiar with adobo. But at least for where I'm from, it changes the name of the dish because the protein is different. So this is known as besteak. And besteak, even though you're going to be using the same protein, I know that there's at least 3 different ways that you can prepare this dish. The sauce will be very similar. What you can change up are the vegetables, I believe. So yes, Slinky. You want to say hi? Slinky. Slinky. Sorry, baby. I know, but this isn't for you. This isn't for you. I know, it's terrible. Go see Daddy. Our cat. That's Slinky. Every time I'm in the kitchen starting to cook, she comes in here. Whether I'm chopping stuff up or, I know. Say hi to everybody. You gonna say hi? No? Slinky. Yes. Go see Daddy. I know. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. All right, we're coming back to the other side. We're going to chop up the rest of the veggies, but let me wash my hands. What are you doing? Okay. All right, so we got the onions done. So we are going to do the bell peppers next. I'm sorry? Hey, Presley. Good evening. Hi, Terry. How's it going, everyone? Thank you guys so much for popping in. All right, let me just give this a quick rinse. Now, I've been talking about there's a different way to cut up the larger bell pepper, because I've normally been using the mini bell peppers. It's been a long time since I've worked with the big one, but in watching, you know, what's his name, Gordon Ramsay. There was a way that I watch him, and I believe it's like cutting down the sides. So then that way you don't have to worry about coring it out. So shall we give that a try? I don't know if he does it from this way. And he just cuts it. Or is it from this way? I don't remember. So here. And then I probably should just... Let's just cut open one side and see. Or I'm just going to stick with what I normally do. Because I completely forgot. That there was a way to cut it without having to do this step. Because this is what I try to do, is to prevent the seeds and whatnot to be getting on the cutting board, so we're not messing with it. But, hey Dot, good evening. Thank you for joining. I'll be over there in a second to read what you have typed in there. I'm out working, so I can only listen. Okay, Terry, hopefully you are making that money out there and stay safe. Yeah, if you guys didn't see the short video that I uploaded last night, our gig shift was affected by whatever was going on with the internet, which caused a lot of systems like the delivery apps that I use, like Walmart Spark, Favor, Instacart. They were all having issues with operating properly last night. So we ended up having to cut our shift sooner than we wanted to, because Sundays are typically a good day for us. So So just cut it this way. There's no specific way you need to, cut up the bell pepper. However you feel like dicing them up. If you like them long, keep them long. But like I said, the mini bell peppers, I like using them because they are slightly sweeter, and just the aesthetics, because they're different colors with the red, the orange, the yellow. So all right, so the last thing that I'll be cutting up is the cabbage, but I'm going to save that as the last thing. We can actually go ahead and get started on cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my stove to about medium temperature. Come on over. Come a little bit closer. Hey, Orange Luke. Good evening. Thank you for being here. We are just now getting to the fun part. We are going to start cooking. But the other thing that I'm also going to do real quick is to go ahead and make the sauce. So with the sauce, we are adding soy sauce. Vinegar. And a little bit of water. That way you just have, and that way at least for the basic sauce mixture, you can taste it beforehand. If you need to add a little bit more of any, if you need to add a little bit more of anything, that's when you want to go ahead and add it. I mean, it will change as you add it to the pot. Hello there, busy lady. Good evening. Much better. Oh yeah. Much better. Maybe just a tad bit more water. But as soon as the pot is hot enough, we are going to throw in a little bit of olive oil. Still getting there. So, but as of right now, we have the steak, which is this is skirt steak, sliced up. And then I also have some diced up onions, which this is not a regular yellow onion, but a sweet onion. I got some diced up green bell peppers. I've got my sauce already put together. Hey Joseph, good evening. I'm turning it up just a tad, just to heat up the pot just a little quicker. And once I get the meat going, I'm gonna go ahead and chop up the cabbage. And then we can start to see some of the magic happen. Oh, wrong one. Maybe about a tablespoon in there. When do you... Hey, Jory. I don't know. When do we? Because the olive oil is extra virgin.
Oh.
I'm seeing just a little bit of bubbling going on directly in the center. So let's throw an onion in there and see if we get any action with the onion. Nope. No sizzling. I want to get it hot enough to where when I throw those onions in, you guys should be able to hear some sizzling going on. So let's wait just a little bit longer.
Not big enough.
All right, there we go. It's starting to sizzle. All right, you guys ready to hear some sizzling action? Let's do this. So you just want to saute the onions just for a few minutes, enough for it to start to slightly become translucent. And then what I'm going to do once that happens is I'm going to toss in some minced garlic. I don't use fresh garlic because I don't use garlic as often other than with garlic powder. So I like that they have this, you know, with the minced garlic. So once that becomes a little bit more translucent, I'm going to toss in a little bit of minced garlic. And again, I have my heat up to about little higher than a medium. And you'll know you have, especially if you have gas stove, you don't want to make it too hot to where it's going to cook your onion, you know, whatever it is you're getting ready to cook, too quickly. You want it to sizzle, but you don't want it to fry. But I know using fresh onions, garlic, you do get more flavor out of it, you know, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. That's not even, I mean, that's maybe half a teaspoon of minced garlic in there, or about a teaspoon. And once you add the minced garlic in there, you don't want to wait too long, because then you will start to burn the garlic. So after about a minute, you want to go ahead and toss in the meat. Hey, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. Hey, Nursan. I am making what is called bistake, which is a popular dish in Guam, which is where I'm from. But I'm live streaming to you from Texas. And I'm adding the protein right now, which is skirt steak. And even though I am using fresh onions, I'm still going to season it with a little bit more of the onion powder. And a little bit garlic powder. And I'm going to throw a little salt on that. You don't want to do too much, because the, maybe just like a pinch. Because you're going to be using soy sauce. Okay, maybe 2 pinches. Bam. Nope, that's not the lid. That's too small. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to turn my temperature back down to closer to medium. Because like I said, I don't want to overcook any of the stuff that I already have in here. We want to give all the ingredients we have in there a chance to start cooking together. And then I'm going to be adding the sauce. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and cut up the cabbage. Let me give this a quick rinse. Well, I'm not making a whole lot, so you don't have to cut up a whole lot when it comes to the cabbage. But when it comes to any veggies you add to a dish, it is always to your preference. You want to add a lot, add a lot. You want to add less, add less. But again, this right here is called bistake. Some of you guys might be familiar with the word adobo. It was the last thing that I had cooked because I was working with pork. It's called adobo. But because tonight's protein is beef, it's called bistake. And there's several ways that you can actually make this dish. So if anybody who's watching is from Guam or is familiar with the dish, you know, if you're used to having it one way and be like, that's not the steak. There's at least 3 ways that I know of. And I believe, even though it's gonna, if you use ground beef, I'm not sure. But if you use ground beef, it'll still be called besteak because the protein is the same. But when you're using ground beef, you can actually prep it a little, cook it differently. And, oh, that's my rice. So I'm just waiting to see less pink, just a little bit less pink. And then I'm going to add the sauce. Let me try that sauce one more time. And the sauce is going to change because, as you see, there's already liquid that's, you know, formed from already starting to cook the steak. So I'm going to go ahead and add the sauce. I might have made a little too much sauce because we don't want to make soup. This is going to be more it's not supposed to be too liquidy, but it's okay to have some sauce because when you're eating this, you're eating it over rice. So now I'm going to let that cook for a couple of minutes or a few minutes until I don't see pink in the meat. And then we're going to add the veggies. So let's get that cooking. And while that's cooking, let's listen to a little bit of music, shall we? Where are you? Let's see. Let's see, where are you? I'm trying to find to play some of my music. There we go. Oh, do I have to sign in? Okay. Let's. Let me see. Let's see if we can switch that out. Nope, it's not there. I can't type apparently. There we go. Do I still have to sign in on this phone? Yes, I have to sign in on this phone. What the heck? Darn it. Well, I guess I can't play my music. I was going to try and play some of my music while we're waiting for this to cook. But thank you guys so much for being here. This is our dinner tonight. And just to let you guys know, in the future cooking live stream, I do plan on cooking another type of fish, which is also a very popular dish in Guam. Because one of the last that I cooked fish, it was salmon, baked salmon. My sister showed me how she cooks it, and I did that as part of a live stream. And so I want to do another fish one, but this one's our parrotfish. Love, that's our favorite fish. It's parrotfish to me. The best way to describe it, if you have no idea what it is, other than it being a gorgeous fish, in reference to meat wise, parrotfish is like the dark meat of chicken. It is meaty, it is moist, it is tender. No matter how you make it, whether you're frying it, you bake it, you grill it, the meat itself, oh, so good. So good. So the meat looks like it's cooked down pretty good, but I'm still seeing a lot of the pieces where to where it's not exactly cooked all the way through. I'm waiting to see more bubbles coming up. So I'm starting to get a bubble now. Starting a bubble. Boiling. I'm going to go ahead and add the bell pepper. So that'll definitely add more flavor to this dish. You want to let it cook a little longer. I'm going to let this cook for at least 3 to 5 minutes, maybe, to cook down, to soften it up a little bit before I add the cabbage. And the cabbage, really, you want to add like during the last couple of minutes of it cooking. And then before you're completely done, that's when you want to go ahead and taste the sauce to see, again, you need to add a little bit more water or soy sauce or vinegar. I do love the smell of bell peppers when you add it to your dish and you're cooking with it. And I said, even when you're cutting up your onions, you can make it like strips like you do with the bell pepper. But you can dice it however you feel like. And make sure all those flavors of the onions, the garlic, the meat, the bell pepper. Gets all nice and mixed in there. Like I said, I probably did add just a little bit too much sauce, but that's okay because once you do add the cabbage, um, that's gonna soak up some of that sauce. I thought about adding carrots into this. You know, I would slice it up even thinner than I did the bell peppers and throw it in here for, again, for aesthetics, you know, for the way it looks, because I've got the green bell peppers, the slightly whitish green cabbage. So I wanted to add a little bit more color to it, but in reference to the flavor profile that I would give to the dish, I don't know. Because I don't think I've ever tried a bistake with carrots. So I decided not to add it. I'm just try the sauce right now. I think it's fine. I think it's fine the way it is. I love the flavor that the bell pepper has already added to it. I can already taste it. I'm gonna wait about another minute or two. Huh? What? And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the cabbage, and then we'll let that finish cooking. Like I said, it's during the last couple of minutes. I did lower down my heat even more. And again, this is my first time making this. So, yay. It was the first time I was making the adobo like that. I've made it with chicken. I just hadn't made it with pork before. So, and like I said, when I made the sauce, I did add a little too much. I still have a mix in here. And if, again, if you're from Guam, you would know this wouldn't go to waste because you can make finadeni. Finadeni is Guam's spicy sauce. It's something you can dip your meat into, or you take it and you just drizzle it all over your food. But it has green onions, white onions, And everybody makes it their own way. Some people will add, I think, tomatoes to it and whatnot. But this is the basic um, sauce mix. Some will either do just lemon with the soy sauce, or some will do like this one is soy sauce and vinegar. All right, let's go ahead and start adding the cabbage. Like I said, it's okay that I did add, I have too much on the sauce because the cabbage will start to soak it up. I personally just don't like having a lot of the thicker pieces, which is why I'm kind of like picking through it. So for those of you guys that use cabbage, know that you got some of the thicker pieces in here. And it's these really thick pieces like that right there is what I was talking about. I know, being a little picky. And in the beginning I was covering this, but I'm leaving it uncovered now during the last couple of minutes of it cooking. I'm going to let this cook for... Hey, Tornado. Hey, Sprod. You love steak? Yep, we're having steak tonight. We're going to have steak tomorrow. I already told the hubby. I was like, yeah, I'm making you steak tonight. I'm going to cook steak and eggs tomorrow for our breakfast so we can fuel up to get out there and do our gig work. Because a lot of times when I make breakfast, even if I make like pancakes or waffles, or even just scrambled eggs with biscuits and whatnot, and we get out there a few hours into the shift, we're already like, are you hungry? I'm getting hungry. But when we have steak and eggs, that tends to hold us a bit longer. All right, let's taste that sauce one more time. I'm getting a little bit more sauce this time. That is good. Baby, want to come try the meat? Huh? What'd you say? It's hot. Gonna try the meat. Piece of meat. Hot. It's hot. Hot. Oh. I told you it's hot. All righty. And that is Besteak we eat it over hot rice. Let me go ahead and get the rice so y'all can see the plating. You want a plate or a bowl? I'm making your plate, babe. Alright, so we got our plate of rice. And if you want to put more sauce on your plate, you can always just take more sauce and drizzle it on top. But there we go. I give you guys our tomorrow bistake. Can I show you eating it?
Nope.
No?
Not a chance.
No?
Thanks, though.
Why not?
They don't see it.
Huh?
They don't see it.
They don't need to see that? And yes, in Guam, we do eat a lot of rice. Probably did put a little too much rice on my plate. Y'all didn't need to see that. Leftovers. Gotta have leftovers for tomorrow. Yep. Alright. So again, I give you our bistake. Yummy. It smells so good. Can you guys smell that? Arnell, no, it's not Popeyes. Your kitchen must smell yummy right now. It does. It does. Am I making you guys hungry? I was trying to see if I could play my music for y'all, my cooking song like I did on my last video, but for whatever reason, I was having to, here, stare at that. Stare at that. At my plate. So for whatever reason, it was, what am I looking for? Oh, I had to sign in and I can't remember my login information right now, so I wasn't able to play my music for y'all like I normally do. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right. Turn this around. Hi there. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's try a piece of meat. Mm. And here's another thing. A lot of us islanders, you guys notice, other than the food on the plate, I don't have a utensil. This, this right here is how you do it. Mm, mm. Oop. Bell pepper. I know they're like, we don't need to see you eating. But just to let you guys know, another up and coming, which it could be for this Saturday. I'm not 100% sure yet, but you guys are going to see a schedule, or I might just do it as a last minute. But I do plan on doing another family cooking dinner, or lunch actually, like I did when I was cooking with my sister. So be on the lookout for that. But that is all I have for y'all tonight. Thank you guys. Sidus Maasi for being here, supporting my channel and my live stream, for being here, making empanadas. Can do. We can make empanadas. What I was actually thinking, Kat, was even trying doing the empanadas with chicken kelaguen as the filling, because I've been wanting to try that, having the chicken kelaguen in the empanada. So who knows? But just keep an eye out for it. Again, I appreciate having you guys all here, and I do hope that you'll keep coming back. But until then, if you guys are out there working, make that money, stay safe. If you guys are at home, enjoy the rest of your evening. And until then, I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Adios for now. I like caramel apple empanadas. Me too. Well, not empanadas. It's not an empanada. We call it something different when I make it with the fruit filling. But I did one already. It's called pastet because we bake it, and not fry it. But I've made a live stream cooking just that same thing, Deb. So go check it out. But again, enjoy the rest of your evening, y'all. Again, thank you for being here. Sidus Maasi. Adios for now. Bye, everyone.